Hi there, this is Lori, and I'm working on a layout right now that will be for the month of challenges at the Lilypad. I'm doing a whole bunch of cool techniques as I work on this layout, and I just thought I'd show you some of those fairly briefly. A lot of those would warrant a video all on their own, so this will really just touch on some different things. I'm using the base of a template from FiddleDeeDee Designs, the Autumn Winds, and it's actually the dressed up version. And I'm also using a kit, a big bundle from Etc. by Danyale, Winter Traditions Christmas. All kinds of cool things in there. So first of all, the challenge itself was to extract something out of a photo and then to make it a sticker. So just briefly, I basically took this photo, I went to cut, and then I went to custom and cut out a straight path, and I worked my way around cutting him out as closely as I could. And once I did that, and there are so many really cool tricks to cutting, so I did do a lot more than this, but I said keep this shaded area and cut. And then I went in to my touch-up and erase, and I zoomed this very far up, and I changed the diameter, and I went to this kind of fuzzy edge, and I just started erasing out the background. So again, there are a whole bunch of different ways that you can accomplish this basic thing. I'll just hit OK on that, but I just wanted to show you that I extracted him out of the background. And then I took that extracted photo and I went to Insert Outliner. And when you do that, you get this additional piece that has the stroke on it. So I took that stroke and I went up a good bit and I put it, the whole outliner piece underneath that extracted photo. And then of course I grabbed that, I took that stroke, made it a solid color, went white, and now I would flatten those two pieces together so that when I put the shadow on, the shadow doesn't come up between them. So there's my sticker. And then I placed him on the page. So I decided as I was looking at what I had with this photo and this photo that I knew I wanted some sort of a cool background, but I'm not good at making backgrounds myself. So I went to a template, and as I pulled up this FiddleDeeDee Designs template, and it'll take just a moment to bring it up, but I went through and I grabbed the flowers and the other bits of things and I deleted those from the template. I wanted those out of my way so that they wouldn't be on there, and I just grabbed outside and went and swung around and grabbed all of those things. I kept the things that I thought I might want, and then I did a Control A. I made sure that there was no background that was selected, that sometimes you have a background down there, and if you select that, you have trouble with it. So I right mouse copied, and then I went back to the page that I had started on, and I just did right mouse paste, and then moved all those things to the back. So that's how I ended up with this background, and I already had these photos in place. So I started filling in the other photos and moving them around a little bit, putting them where I wanted, adding this cool journal card over the top, and this journal card is that photo filled in. So as I filled in these curved bits, I also did an outliner on those because I wanted that text to be live without me having to draw a text path. So in order to do that, I just selected that one piece, and if we scroll down, you can see I've got that one piece, and then I inserted the outliner again. Once I have that outliner, I can then right mouse over it and say Text Format, and position text along the shape, and I can scroll down and I've got this information down there that I can work with in just a moment. I'm going to OK for this second, and I'm going to right mouse text. Now I can edit, and as I edit, I typed in what I wanted it to say, and I didn't do repeat because if I did, it would go all the way around that shape and be upside down and be out past the edges. I didn't need that. So what I did is I just copied and paste, 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 paste a few times, and I enlarged it and changed my font, so however you need it to look, and then I just said okay. Now when I did that, I found that it came over here on the edge, and I wanted it of course to be up around the top. So text, format one more time, and placement on path. Now as you watch, can you see those words as they're moving along? And I'm pushing them so that they start exactly where I want them to be. So once I was happy with that, I could also decide if I wanted to change anything else under more options. The relief is pretty cool because I can change how far away it is. So I pushed it out of that outliner shape a little bit. Now at this point I okayed and I changed my stroke color to match the paper underneath it. So I went and found a color that I liked, and then I just dragged it down and I put it underneath. So this is actually it right here. So I will delete that one back from the top. So so that then I could work on the page a little bit more and get to a point where I could show you a little bit closer to finished what it looks like, and a couple of other cool techniques. So I'm going to flip over to this other page, which of course takes a moment. And here you can see I've added on some bits and pieces, I've put in some text, and I have a couple of cool techniques here that I want to show you. One is that I have this banner, and if I zoom up so that you can see it a little bit closer, I have eyelets right here that this banner goes through. So now it can look like it's held to the page more realistically, a little more properly. So if I go to the kit and I pull over the banner, so here's the banner. You can see I barely even reshaped it, but I'm going to just pull that over to show you. And then I'm going to go and get the eyelet and pull that over, make it a little bit smaller. So what I did is, first of all, I copied and pasted the eyelet so that I had two of them. And then I placed the eyelet where I thought it would look fairly realistic, but you can see that this bit right here is underneath it as well as the rest of it, and I want it to look realistic. I want this bit to come over the eyelet. So I grab the eyelet, I go to Cut, Custom, I'm just going to use a straight path, and because there's a defining line here on the banner, I just use that line to grab, and then I'm going to go out and just make sure I'm around all of that piece. I come over to my after the cut copy and I say keep both areas and cut. Now when I do that, I can scroll up to the top and I can see that that cut piece is underneath the eyelets. I'm going to grab it and put it to the top. And you can see how nice that looks on there. Now at this point, of course, I could be adding my shadows. I'm going to just move this other eyelet out of the way a little bit. And of course, you can kind of figure out what I did with it up there. But once I add the shadows to both pieces, so I will add a heavy shadow to this banner because it sticks out more. And this little eyelet I will add a light shadow to, and of course if I had the other eyelet on. It's important to take all of those pieces, so you can see over here on the left I'm grabbing all of those, and at that point I would make sure I group them. So when I group them, now if I wanted to move them at all, I can move them all at the same time. So let me just slide all of this out of the way. One more technique that I want to show you that's really cool is an outliner on this tag. Now this tag I might tuck in somewhere. I haven't quite decided yet, but if I grab the tag, you can see that I already created an outliner. I'm going to make that invisible for a moment to show you what happened when I did this. So here's my tag. I'm going to insert outliner and look at the shape of it. it's really quite messy. It doesn't meet up the way I want it to. But I'm going to grab the tag itself and move it to the front. And we can see that we need to really fix that outliner in order to make it look right. So over on the left, I click the outliner. And once I do, I hit right mouse, shape. I'm going to edit the shape. Now that's editing the shape of the outliner itself. And as I go to the different lines, can you see how they're highlighted? Let's zoom up more so that you might be able to see that a little bit better in this video. So see how that's highlighted? Right mouse, make straight. I'm coming over to this one. Oop, now I shouldn't have clicked. That was a goof, so I'm going to undo. Hang over it, right mouse, make straight. This one is nice and straight because we had two good. Right mouse again, shape, edit shape. So here's the line at this corner, make straight, make straight, make straight. Now I've got an exact shape on that outliner, and I can take the stroke. Yes, I always forget that I've got an action open. Okay, that action. Take the stroke, solid color, and change that to white. And now it's a sticker, just like it is on the rest of the pieces on my page. I can take both of those. I can flatten them together. I'll go to Format, Heavy Shadow. Now that tag is ready to add to my page, tucking it in however I'd like. I'm going to select this photo, arrange, group, ungroup. So it's hanging underneath, but I do want to be able to see that little eyelet area. And now to make this more realistic, I would need to find something that would look like I've hooked it onto my page. And I could easily do a piece like this. And then I might go ahead and put a date or something else for words on that tag. So I showed you a whole bunch of different techniques. Some of those might turn into better videos all by themselves later on. Here's my finished page, except for possibly a title there. And I will be submitting this for the month of challenges, day 10, to make a sticker from an extracted shape at the Lilypad. Take care, have a great day. Thank you for watching.